Okay, numbers. 117 active, 22 option contract, 59 pending, and 21 sold. Here's what I saw in this. If you look at this yellow line, it looks like it's gone up every single week.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the pending number. That tells me we are definitely headed into a spring market. I don't want to over generalize, but I definitely see inventory here not as high as it was October, November last year. And pendings are higher than they were October, November last year. Actually, we've got the highest pendings we've had in quite a while, since last summer. So tell me houses aren't selling.
Yeah, no, we saw this trend start happening at the when we finished December, and the numbers weren't as bad as we thought they were going to be. And so there's, I think, a couple things at work here, right? You've got people just kind of getting used to the higher interest rates. And then on top of that, you've got interest rates actually going down right now. And so the pending's not going down as low as we thought they were. It's huge in a month like December, because you essentially have about a week and a half or 2 weeks of almost a dead period. And it wasn't dead this year.
Not at all.
And so as they keep going down in January, I'm telling you, the people that are positioned with a strong pipeline are going to be the ones that win right now as interest rates are going down.
100%.
And I'm feeling the feedback in the office. I don't know about you, and you're hearing it from the agents, the words that are coming out of their mouth. They're seeing the market's picking up, and buyers are out there looking again. So it's really exciting just to see where we're headed and coming into the new year.
I just had a weird flashback to some movie where, do you see the words that are coming out of my mouth? The market is taking off. If you're not out there moving and shaking right now, you're something's wrong. Check in. You should be selling houses and showing houses right now. We jump over to Dallas County, same deal. This yellow line is coming up. Dallas County actually is not as high as it was in previous months from pending, but there's 351 pending, 833 in the active inventory. It's up from the beginning of the year and maybe a little over where it was in December, but it certainly hadn't recovered from an active inventory perspective. We jump over to Collin County. Look at that yellow line take off in Collin County. It's above this line, and you got to go all the way back to like almost summer in Collin County to see the same level of pending we have right now. So what's that tell me? Rockwall County, Collin County have certainly taken off in the spring market. Dallas County is doing good, but not at the same level as Collin and Rockwall. What do y'all make of it?
Yeah, we were talking about 2 or 3 weeks ago about, you know what, if you're looking for a place to lead generate, Dallas had been overperforming Collin and Rockwall County. And so like anything else in life, you've always got these one-offs, but averages tend to just average out over time, right? And so I think we're just kind of seeing the market catch up a little bit to how well Dallas performed. I don't put too much stock into it, but I think it's still a wise place to keep lead generating and not have all your eggs in one basket. Because I think over the next year, 2 years, you're going to continue to see people that felt like they were never going to go back in the office, going back in the office. I mean, if you look out the window today and see the bridge traffic, it's like that every day, just stacked on top of each other, trying to get across. They're going to get tired of it, and you're going to have an exodus going back across the bridge, which is only going to help the market out more. But it's a great place to continue to build that pipeline.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. So there's your numbers. Let's jump over here to this couple interesting conversations. So there's this new thing called Chat GPT. And what this is if you go to the website, openai.com, It's an artificial technical writing software. So what this looks like is, hey, I listed a house in city of Rockwall, 4-bedroom, write my listing description. And you type that in and it'll write an entire listing description for you. Or, hey, today's January 23rd, 2023. Write me a blog post with these statistics I heard on my industry update call this morning, and it'll write an entire blog post for you. It's wild. If you haven't checked this out, you need to check this out.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a short video about this yesterday, and the amount of leverage that you can use with this tool is just it's going to save time, it's going to save money to really allow you to be able to focus on those activities that we need to be doing when it comes to prospecting and lead generation. So just an incredible tool. If you haven't looked at it or heard about it, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people have at this point, but take a look at it and see how you can use it in your business.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's anything to take away from this call today, it's to look at this right after the call. Huge leverage piece, like you were saying. And if you get into this, there's a lot of other pieces you need to look into. There's a great app out there called Mobile Monkey that acts as your chat agent. So if somebody clicks on a Facebook Messenger ad and starts asking you questions about a property, you can hook it into your website, and it will answer any question that they ask. And you can train it to every 2 questions, start trying to set the appointment. It's a really cool leverage piece. You can get it set up fairly cheap. But there's so many things with AI we're able to do now. This is a really simple one that, if you're to that point where you think I need an assistant, start with these pieces right here and then work your way towards that. And really, you should have an assistant that is building your business, not writing descriptions and whatever else, blogs. Leverage this out and grow your business even more.
100%. Check it out. This one I found really interesting. So I don't know inside real estate that much. Do you guys know inside real estate very well? They bought Boomtown. Let me sign in so we can see the article here. Sorry. Did I lose it?
I'm not sure what happened there.
Okay. Who is inside real estate?
I had to look it up last night. I didn't know if it was a subsidiary company that we just hadn't really heard of or paid attention to, but they've got a lot of partnerships with companies like Berkshire Hathaway and Remax. I forgot some of the other ones there. But as I was digging into this, it was just a reminder to myself of how fortunate we are to be in a company like Keller that invested in their own software, and everybody's chasing us right now.
Oh, 100%. So if you're not familiar with Boomtown is one of the, I would say, top 3 CRM/lead aggregator companies, meaning I pay them a lot of money to have an account, but then they go do the Google pay-per-click for me. They go do the Google local home services for me and drive leads back to their web experience that cultivates business for me. It's a powerful tool. It's not the only tool, but it was a powerful tool. And I find it interesting it's being bought.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing when I was reading this article is just, I was like, oh, Command does that. Command does that.
100%.
I didn't necessarily see anything that stood out. It looks like a flashy article that they're trying to get some publicity from. But really, if you dive into Command, all the capabilities are there. And like you said, they're just trying to catch up to what we're doing right now when Command's used properly.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought it was interesting. Be aware, Boomtown was purchased by Inside Real Estate. Whatever that means. Okay. North Texas 2023 housing market will be a mirror image of last year, experts predict. There's a quote in here that I thought was interesting. It said multiple speakers said the mantra should be stay alive till 2025. Boy, things sell, don't they? They also said the national recession won't wall up Dallas-Fort Worth as hard as it does other areas of the country. And that goes for the North Texas housing market as well as the broader economy. We've been saying that for weeks on this call, that we're blessed to be selling real estate in Dallas-Fort Worth. Our economy and our marketplace will not be disrupted as much as the national economy. They're reiterating it here. The other thing, I don't know that you got to stay alive till 25. I think that they tried to find some fancy thing of saying, I think 2023 is going to be a good year. I think 2024 will be a better year than 2023. And then I think 2025 obviously will be a great year. And we're just climbing back. The one thing that I find interesting, I don't know if we have an article on this or not, they talked about how the Dallas-Fort Worth home prices were down 10% in December from their peak in June. Here's the question. If I was uneducated and read that, I might think the world's falling apart. But we know the truth is every year, the prices in December are less than the prices in June because the market peaks in June. So there's always a decline in home prices from June to December. I don't know that it was necessarily 10% in previous years, but it certainly wasn't up, right? What would y'all add?
No, I think you're spot on that. I think it's interesting to say that it's going to mirror 2023. I think that our first couple quarters are going to mirror 2022, right? And if you look back at 2022 last year, 2022, the market started waning a bit in December, January, and even into February. And then all of a sudden March happened and everything skyrocketed in March and April, and to an extent a little bit in May. And then we started petering out in June once the interest rates really started to hit June 16th. And I think we have an opportunity right now to be doing the exact same thing as rates are falling. We keep saying that, the closer they get to 5.5, as low as inventory as there is, the faster this market's going to take off. And I mean, we jumped back up to 6.3 and now we're going back down below 6. I mean, this is going to happen really quick, especially with the Fed meeting coming. This next week, we get good news out of that, and I don't see any reason why those numbers don't continue to fall.
Yeah.
I mean,
leave it there.
I thought there's also something interesting at the bottom of that article too. It just talked about how many people are moving into the Dallas area too, and just how rapidly we are growing. So there's still opportunity, and I know that article is specific to North Texas, but I think that there was also some light at the bottom of that where it said Dallas has a lot of people moving in. If we do go through this recession, a strong population growth works in our favor. So
yeah, 100%. Unemployment, population, interest rates, all that stuff plays a factor, and all indicators give us 2 thumbs up, green lights. Let's go. We're going to have a good year in real estate.
Absolutely.
I think that's interesting. We don't always talk a lot of commercial on this call, but Dallas-Fort Worth topped the U.S. with $42.5 billion in commercial property deals last year. So one of the things that I think would be worthy of a mention is what percentage of your income came from commercial referrals last year? Meaning you have a database of people and you're talking to these people on a day-to-day basis. I would guess at least half of them have some interaction with commercial real estate. Are you that trusted resource that connects them to the commercial brokers? You know, we actually did quite a few commercial transactions last year. We did 18 commercial properties in 2022, and we have 2 in-house KW commercial members. So you certainly should know who they are and understand their expertise, but there's a source of income around commercial referrals that I'm not sure we really maximize. And obviously Dallas has got it going on.
Yeah, I don't see any change in that. We've got a ton of warehouse space being built. We've got a ton of companies coming in, and we are expanding just as fast commercially as we are in the residential sector. And just to plug what we're doing in the office, be at the power meeting tomorrow, be at it the next week, because we're doing something a little different with our ALC. And that's going to be a big focus, is growing in commercial this year, as well as other areas. So if you're interested, if you want a piece of this pie, and there's a lot to be had out there, show up and be a part of it this year.
Well said. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
well said.
All right. Housing supply in Dallas-Fort Worth rises. We showed that on the graphs, giving buyers more choices, but sales continue to fall. Sales, yes. Pendings, no. So what's happened is sales are the lag measure, or what's happened in the past. Pendings are the lead measure of what's coming. Yes, we went through a lull in the market, as we always do this time of year. And then the spring market took off. So I think it's really important to understand that we're going to build inventory. We're building sales. We're building spring market. Buckle up. Let's go. Would y'all add?
Yeah, no, I think they put out a stat on like how much the supplies increased, from, about 7 or 8 months ago, where we were at, maybe like a 25-day supply, and now we're hitting up to the 3 months, which is a 90-day supply. That tells me that we're still in a seller's market right now. And we just really need to push to get those listings out there and let people know that now is the time to list. Because if it does continue to pick up and we see more listings, then it could shift in the other direction. So let's get ahead of that. Let's, for our clients, and let's talk to them about, if they're wanting to sell in the summer, let's get ahead of that into the spring, and let's start really having those conversations now and coming up with those action plans to where we can get their houses on the market and beat the rush.
Can I poke fun at this for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
At what point is 53 months on the market? That's normal to me. Like, I remember when we were 6 months on the market and having to deal with sellers going, well, are you going to do an open house this weekend? What are you doing? What new marketing are you doing? Why isn't my house selling? No, I don't want to drop my price. All those conversations. And right now the news headline is we went from 14 days on the market to 3 months on the market. And I'm going, oh my gosh. But everything comes in cycles. Yeah. Everything comes in cycles.
Yeah, I think the real danger to an article like this, and as agents, if we're not careful about it, is we can let news like this kind of drive our energy down, because we start feeding into that of, it's just not that great. And you start wondering why you're trying so hard. But, we just talked about how if we're going to have a mirror image of what last year looked like, you're going to see a big rush going in through Q2. So the news is going to find every stat. We've seen this in the last 6-7 months, every stat they can, comparing one year against another, where it has no real bearing, because this is just a completely different time than we've ever experienced. And so you have to be really knowledgeable about what the good market looks like and what it doesn't look like, and just keep plugging away and not letting stuff like this mess with your head.
100%. There was a big lawsuit. If you're not familiar, some people got postcards in the mail. If you're not familiar, there was a class action lawsuit around, and Keller Williams was named, which is important to understand that. And what it is cold calling on the do not call list. And we train and coach and preach, and the TCPA do not call list is very real. And if you're not careful, they will turn you in, they will fine you. You need to be really careful about being compliant with this, because what happens is it turns into a class action lawsuit and $40 million settlement over a do not call list, right? So here's the reality. We all kind of joke around the seriousness of it, but it's very serious, guys.
Yeah.
And it's worthy of a mention that, it used to be that thing that everybody said, don't do it, don't do it. Well, now it's real, like $40 million real. So be really careful. I also would tell you, the postcards make everybody think, ooh, I got a settlement. And if you really look into it, that settlement might buy you a stick of gum. It's not, nobody's getting rich off the settlement. It's, by the time it gets divided, it's such a small number. Heads up.
Yeah, I think the most important thing I saw in that article, it said, don't take this as an excuse of not calling anybody. You still need to call, but
Yes.
Obey the rules.
100%. So it's not the end of cold calling. It's responsible cold calling.
Yep. And just the fact that we're named as, the culprit here, and we're headline is, I mean, that means we are making the calls, and we just need to make sure that we're bouncing it off the do not call registration and making sure that we're doing it right.
100%. All right. The investor niche. I think this is a real thing right now. Like, I think people are back in the market thinking there's opportunity. They're back in the market looking for opportunity. How do we train everybody? How do we coach everybody to go capitalize on this investor niche?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we really just talk to them. Just like the article says, just make sure that you're going into every listing that you have. Is there a way that you can buy that house? Is it going to be something that's going to build you some profit? Because if you always got to think, like, as an agent, what happens if the market does do this? As much as you can lean in and everything like that, you still want to make sure that you have some security and some passive income that's coming in. So it's a great opportunity as prices are starting to fall. We know what happens when the prices go up and how we can take advantage of it. So ask yourself, is this something that we can afford and get a second home and start having someone else pay your mortgage and get that passive income, a little bit of job security behind you?
Great answer. I agree. It's a focus, right? And just like we train, coach, and teach everybody to focus on their database, what I'm bringing to the conversation this morning, Dustin and Jim, is, hey, there's money in that database for commercial referrals. There's money in that database on people buying investment real estate. How do we go find that money and put it in your pocket? And that's really what it's all about. Yeah,
and don't sell yourself short on that. Limiting beliefs can creep in real quick. Like, oh, I haven't done a deal like this or anything like that. But we're connected and we have a tight community to where we know who to contact to make sure that person is taken care of and provide the support. And really you're just making yourself more of a valuable agent to your clients, that I'm not going to necessarily take every deal. I can just provide you with the person that's going to take care of you the best that they can too.
Yep. There you go. All right. Overarching theme: the market's taken off. Spring market has started. Quit listening to the media. We're going to be just fine. We're expecting to have a good 2023. That's what I would throw. What are y'all throwing?
Yeah. Put yourself in a great situation right now, because there's a really bright pasture just over that hill. So you know what, let's make it over together, get in the office, get into coaching, whatever you need to be. If you feel like you need a little bit of a kickstart, find the group here. plug in and start building that energy on energy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just excited just what's going on in the office. Now it's just a great time with everything that we're reading to really plug in and start growing your business, growing yourself, and start going out and getting the listings. Go after the listings, just like the MREA says, listings, leads, leverage. Are you utilizing that to your full effect?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, gentlemen. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Have a good one.